Support for the show comes from Amazon Prime. You might think of Prime as only a way to get fast, free delivery or maybe as the place to stream movies, shows, and sports. But it's actually way more than that. Maybe you've got a passion or a hobby. Prime can help you get the most out of it. Whether you're streaming documentaries on marine animals, ordering action figure stands with free one-day delivery, or finding the perfect playlist to impress that special someone, Prime makes it easier and faster to do what you love. Whatever you're into, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
Hey everyone, John Wertheim here. It is Quick Serve from Roland Garros 2025, brought to you by Amazon Prime. It is day 2 of round 1. A discussion for another time, but when these events start on Saturdays and not Sundays, we may have a 4-day first round, but let's table that for now. And let's get to the results from today. If there was a theme, maybe it was the aftershocks, the afterglow of the Rafa Nadal ceremony. Andy talked about it as well yesterday. This was really a poignant occasion. It really was pitch perfect to celebrate Rafa. And you had a feeling that there were some after effects, some carryover today. Iga Swiatek, the defending champion, who was in the stands for the Rafa ceremony with a Merci Rafa, Gracias Rafa shirt on. Nice look. She and Carlos Alcaraz both. She said she was inspired by Rafa, and she proved it. She looked like an Amazon Prime. Looked like a female warrior that we all know she is here. It has been a year since she last reached a final when she won the tournament, but she looked awfully good today, getting through to the second round. Her draw has cleared up a little bit too, so things are looking up for Iga Swiatek 48 hours into this event. She was followed on court by Spaniard Paula Badosa, who also spoke quite eloquently about how she was moved by Rafa. She was deep in a third set against Naomi Osaka. This was really the match of the day. 4-time major champion Naomi Osaka trying to get something going against Badosa, who's been a top 10 stalwart for so long. Tight match, tough match, good battle, and deep in the third, Paula Badosa breaks Naomi Osaka, pulls away, channeling Rafa. We are left wondering a bit about Naomi Osaka, who, get this, since winning the Australian Open in 2021, her 4th major, Naomi Osaka, of course, had a child, which factors into this as well, but she has not been past the third round of any of the 11 majors she entered. She was very tearful in the press afterwards, speaking about how she hates to disappoint people, very hard on herself. The draw gods did her no favors. There were patches of this match when she was brilliant. There were other patches of this match when she just sort of went away, but another tough loss for Naomi Osaka and a good win for Paula Badosa. And then Richard Gasquet, who tennis fans will remember, and if you haven't seen this, go spark up YouTube, Rafael Nadal's rival in the juniors, going way back, in some cases to the 90s. Richard Gasquet, also born in June of 1986, as Rafa was. He played in what could have been his final match here, but he wins. He was victorious over fellow Frenchman Terence Altamane, and he now gets an assignation against Jannik Sinner in round 2. But Richard Gasquet, who grew up with Rafa Nadal and did not, of course, mirror the great heights of Rafa, but had a very fine career. He's playing in his last Roland Garros, and he will now get a big match, presumably on the big court, against Jannik Sinner. So Richard Gasquet was a winner today as well. Sinner won, kicking off his campaign, trying to win his first Roland Garros. There was one significant upset, not so much the result as the scoreline, which was Emma Navarro, the 9th seed, going out to Jessica Monero. Remember the Spaniard who we've talked about having the SHHH tattoo on her index finger. Why is that? So she can silence crowds and show her SHHH. Yeah, we do these things as teenagers. But she silenced the crowd today and beat Emma Navarro 6-0, 6-1 in 57 minutes. Not a good performance for Emma Navarro. She'll have some questions to answer coming off of that. Carlos Alcaraz followed that match on Longland. This is probably the one and only time Carlos Alcaraz will play Longland. He looked terrific in his first match of his title defense. Other winners, Bernardo Pera of the United States, the left-hander, beat Caroline Garcia. Speaking of retirements, this was her final Roland Garros. She has been quite a story here, speaking a lot and very active on social media about the rigors, both physical and mental, of being a pro tennis player. And she's essentially said she's had enough at age 31. Speaking of French players, Arthur Fils, whom Andy speaks very highly of, as do most people. He won his first match ever at Roland Garros. He is the 14th seed, a crowd favorite, had to go 4 sets, but beat Nicholas Jarry of Chile. Casper Ruud was a winner. Upset on the men's side. One of these upset, not an upsets. Daniel Altmaier of Germany. One-handed backhand, has really played well here for his career. Got to week 2 here during COVID Roland Garros. He beat Berrettini. He's beaten Jannik Sinner here, and now he's added another name, beating Taylor Fritz, the 4th seed. 4-set win for Altmaier. Not a good outing for Taylor Fritz. He'll be happy to move off of the clay, and he was very outspoken. I mean, Taylor Fritz, say this about him, he is a realist, and basically said, look, I was atrocious on the big points, and so Taylor Fritz now 17-11 on a year. Not quite the year he imagined after getting to that U.S. Open final, the ATP Tour final. It's been a slow year for Taylor Fritz, but now he will move off clay. Other winners today, Maddie Keys, now 8 major singles wins in a row, coming off her Australian Open title. She looked very good today. Robin Montgomery, 2-1. Very nice win for the young American there. Other notable results, Barbara Krejcikova, who won this event several years ago, won her first match of the year. Keep an eye on her. Steph Tsitsipas, who'd been struggling, a match some people called as a possible upset. Well, he got through Echeverry in straight sets with little problem. Daria Kasatkina, playing her first major match as an Australian, was a winner in 3 sets. Other matches of note, one in particular that really stung, which was Francisco Cerundolo, the Argentine, who some people even picked to get to the semifinals, if you can believe it. He lost to Gabe Diallo, the big Canadian who played at the University of Kentucky. That is a mystifying result. Gabe Diallo is a very nice player, had a good U.S. Open, big, tall kid with a big serve, but beating Cerundolo straight sets on clay is very curious. So those are results from today. The post-Rafa day, we will call this. Looking to day 3, again, we are still in the first round, a 3-day first round. What do we have on the docket? We've got Sonia Kenin, former finalist here, against Varvara Gracheva, the highest-ranked French woman. Coco Gauff trying to get to another final here and maybe even go a step further. Starts off against Olivia Gadecki. Novak Djokovic coming off that title, number 100 with triple-digit titles, and also he took part in that poignant Rafa Fest as well. Novak starts his 2025 Roland Garros against Mackie McDonald. Gael Monfils, might this be his final Roland Garros? He plays Delian. Mira Andreeva is in action. Keep an eye on Zverev against Lerner Tien. Lerner Tien, a tricky player in the best of times, and these are not the best of times for Alexander Zverev, who has talked a lot about how sick he is, how ill he is, how he had to fight just to take the court in Hamburg. Lerner Tien has actually beaten Zverev already once this year. Zverev ought to get by, finalist last year, but keep an eye on that. That's got upset potential. Jessica Pegula starts her campaign. So does Jack Draper, up to number 5 in the world. Daniil Medvedev on the docket, Ons Jabeur. A lot of good matches. And then check this out. We're going to court 7. If you can figure this out, you've got one up on me, because Hurkacz against Fonseca, which I think most tennis fans would see as one of the really prime first-round matches. The Brazilian prospect against Hurkacz, a top 10 denizen who just lost to Novak in 3 sets in Geneva. That's a really strong first-round match. Why is that 4th on court 7? Go figure. Anyway, lots of matches to round out round 1 tomorrow. We will be back with another Quick Serve. Thanks everyone for listening. This is Quick Serve brought to you by Amazon Prime. Day 2, Roland Garros 2025. Enjoy the tennis, everyone.
Support for the show comes from Amazon Prime. Prime is more than just fast, free delivery. It's your go-to for streaming music, movies, and sports. Plus, it's also a great way to connect with the things you love. Into skiing? Stream ski films on Prime Video even when the slopes are bare. Love fishing? You can get new gear delivered fast and be back by the water in no time. Planning your next big trip? Prime helps you get everything you need faster than you can write your out-of-office email. Whatever you're into, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.